Benefits of green spaces. Well, there's a lot of benefits to green spaces, and you tend to start with thinking about human benefits to green spaces, and there are others, of course, and I'll get to those. But at a basic level, people tend to be happier, they tend to be healthier, they tend to literally breathe easier when they've got access to green spaces. How valuable is the quad to U of I? How valuable is that space to your experience as a student at Illinois? And I think about it for me as an alum, and that's one of the first places I want to go when I come back. There's something that's kind of both calming and energizing about it all at once. And yet, I'm not being charged admission to be there. Mm-hmm. No one's paying attention to how many people are walking through the quad.
So Beyond the Ball is a nonprofit organization, and we do youth and community development through sport and play. So we try to, just encompass all ages. And the goal of our organization is really to, reclaim space using sport and kind of just create, personally and socially responsible young people to become community stakeholders. Our summer programs, we have Project Play, which is our biggest program. So every Tuesday, it's once a week during the summer. We have different games set up on the field. So it's sometimes they're just backyard games tag or different games with cones, super simple games. But what we want to do with Project Play is just kind of engage and activate the entire family. So that's a lot of what our work is, right? Just reclaiming the space for public space for public use. For a few years, Project Play was held, on the dirt and patches of grass. But then from there, Beyond the Ball started to apply for different grants and different opportunities to kind of just revitalize that space. Mm-hmm. Luckily, we were able to get, the funding to get a brand new turf field in there, get the basketball courts, put a track around the field, just to really, clean up the space and make it something that we're using it either way. And now it's we can use it safely. Each space is already an existing green space within our community, but due to violence and people just not being comfortable being outside and playing, they're kind of underutilized. So it's we have this space, which is a necessity, but in order to use it, you have to feel safe, right? You have to even recognize that it's there, that it's not someone would just see it and think, oh, okay, no, that's not my space. That's, the gang space. So if kids come out one Friday to La Vita Park and they have a good time and they're oh, yeah, I want to go back. It's the next morning they could wake up and the space is still there. We won't be there, but that space is there. And the hope is that, right, we've created a safe space there so that they played there Friday night, they felt safe, they felt good. And it's okay, you can come back out Saturday and it's still going to be the same.
Overused phrase, but it does take a village. I really do think it takes churches. I think it takes nonprofits. I think it takes schools. I think it takes the public recreation department, as well as some private, that have the resources and perhaps have the motivation to give back to the communities. And I think it just takes all of them working together. And there's different coalitions that can come together with the idea to have a mission of okay, what do we want to accomplish? Not trying to take on too much. Is our goal to increase safe green spaces, mm-hmm. right? Or is our goal to have more programs, right? And because that's different, right? Mm-hmm. It could be look very different. So, have a very clear goal that everybody buys into and says, okay, how can we make this happen? How can we work together to make this work?